I want to start by having you talk about the current situation there at your office. What is the situation with the number of animals that you have there?
So currently we have 38 dogs under our care. That's dogs that are on their stray hold or dogs that are up for adoption. Some of them are out in foster. Currently we only have 40 kennels for dogs. That includes space for stray animals. So 38, that's really maxing it out. So it's pretty full here. Been pretty lucky with fosters recently, but just adoptions have been so slow. We've had animals that, like Boston, he's been here since January, which in my little over 3 years here, almost 3.5 years here, I've never seen a dog sit here for 6 months like that. And he's a good dog. He loves other dogs. It's just been really slow.
The number of animals that you have now could it be attributed to folks who may have adopted during the pandemic and decided, well, maybe it's not what I want anymore?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people got puppies over the pandemic because they were, home and they had more time for a puppy. And then maybe when they started back on their normal, like in-office careers, that they realized they didn't have as much time for an animal as they thought they did. So it's been crazy. We've gotten a lot of young dogs. So a lot of the dogs that we get are young. We don't get a lot of senior dogs. So really a lot of them are probably the pandemic puppies that people realized they didn't have as much time for as they thought.
So what do you need people to do?
We need people to adopt. We need people to foster. We need people to share our social media posts because maybe your uncle that lives in the next state over sees a dog on your Facebook that you shared that he realizes is the love of his life and he has to come adopt him right now. So if you can't donate, if you can't foster, if you can't adopt, the least you can do is share our stuff on social media so that we can get our pets out to as many people as possible.
How costly is this when you get this full, and chances are you'll probably exceed the number of kennels you have? How costly is that to what you all do?
When we are this full, we do see a higher amount of need for dog food, need for cleaning supplies like bleach and laundry detergent and soap. It's definitely expensive. Running a shelter is expensive. So yeah, when we get full, we definitely go through cleaning items and food a lot faster than we would if we were at like half capacity.
Take me through the process now of adopting. Is there anything that you're doing special now to get more people in quicker?
We've been doing a lot of marketing on social media. We've had several adoption events recently where we had some animals sponsored. People have been sponsoring the adoption fees for some of the animals to hopefully get them into homes quicker.
The process of adopting is relatively simple.
Yes. So in order to adopt, what you do is you go on our website, you'd fill out our adoption application, which really isn't anything too crazy. If you rent, we contact your landlord. If you own, we just confirm with property records. If you have other pets, like if you're going to adopt a dog and you already have a dog, we would want them to be up to date on their rabies vaccine, and we'd want them to come in and meet whoever you are interested in just to make sure that they're going to get along in your home. And then really that's about it. You come in, you make sure the dog's a good fit, and then if you've already been approved, then you get to take the dog home that day if you want to.
So, is that part of an education process? Somebody comes in, finds a pet, takes it home within a month saying, oh, wow, I can't do this. How much of an education do folks need before they even consider coming down and looking?
Yeah, so we do adoption counseling. So anybody who adopts from us, we go through really what their responsibility is as a pet owner and tips for making that transition as smooth as possible. So we talk to you about crate training, about potty training, about introducing them to other people, introducing them to your current pets, how to make that transition to your home as successful as possible. And we always tell people too, if you get them home and you have any questions, feel free to call us, because we want to make it work. We want to be as helpful as possible, and to give these dogs the best chance to settle in their new home. I do also like to tell people, you know, it takes 3 days to start to decompress, 3 weeks to learn your schedule, and 3 months to really feel at home. Now for puppies, kittens, it's a bit quicker, but adult animals, generally it takes a minute for them to get stabilized. So I adopted a dog here a couple years ago, and that first week was kind of rough. You know, I didn't realize that while him and my dog got along perfectly here, there was some spats just because him and my dog were learning how to play with each other. So it was a rocky couple days, but after the first few days, you know, they really started to settle in. So I do think sometimes people think that it's gonna automatically be perfect when, you know, it's a dog that has a history that we don't always know of. So there is that transition period that's going to be a little bit more difficult than, say, 2 years down the road or even a month down the road. And we do get dogs in here that are like just perfect little baby angels and immediately transition beautifully into their home. But I didn't get that lucky with my rescue dog.
Are the summer months your busiest time? Is that where you see most strays come in?
Yes. Yes, definitely the summer months. The winter is usually a bit quieter, but even then, it's really, this past year has just stayed busy. We haven't really had a down month or so, because, you know, normally in the winter, we have about half as many strays as we did this past winter. So it's just been consistently busy this past year.
All right,
But
Brianna,
definitely.
thank you so much for your time. And boy, I hope some folks come down there and start fostering and adopting.
Me too. Thank you.